Let me say something that might sound rude, but could literally save you 30 years of your life. The middle class isn't broke because they don't work hard. They're broke because they're playing a game they were never meant to win. And the scariest part? Most of them will stay stuck forever. Not because they're stupid, but because they're following rules that feel responsible while quietly draining their future. If you've ever thought, I make decent money, so why do I still feel behind? Why does saving feel pointless? Why does everyone else seem to pull ahead while I'm stuck on a treadmill? Well, good news. This video is about you. Today, I'm breaking down the one core flaw that keeps the middle class broke and the 10 hidden behaviors that reinforce it every single day. No fluff, no guru nonsense, just the truth, delivered with receipts. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. But before we break this into pieces, you need the big picture so you can fully understand. The middle class optimizes for comfort, not leverage. They optimize for stability, predictability, safety, approval. Meanwhile, wealth is built through ownership, asymmetry, long-term leverage, boring, invisible decisions. Everything that feels right emotionally is often financially backwards. Now let's break this down piece by piece. Number 1, the middle class sells time instead of owning systems. Okay, look, here's the uncomfortable truth. The middle class is addicted to paychecks. Not income, not wealth. Paychecks. They trade hours for dollars and call it security. But here's the math nobody explains clearly. Time is finite. Ownership is scalable. If your income requires your presence, it has a ceiling. Doctors hit it, engineers hit it, managers hit it, even high earners hit it. You don't get rich by earning more per hour. You get rich by decoupling income from hours. Ownership does that. Time trading doesn't. The middle class keeps climbing ladders that lean against the wrong wall. They chase promotions instead of equity, titles instead of cash flow, raises instead of leverage. And they wonder why freedom never arrives. If that one stung, wait until you see how responsible spending quietly sabotages them next. Number 2, they confuse looking rich with being safe. For a while, I've been wanting to discuss this, and I think now is the right time. The middle class loves one thing more than wealth: applause. Nice car, nice house, nice clothes, nice vacations, all financed. They don't buy things because they need them. They buy things because they're visible. And here's the irony. The more successful they look, the poorer they usually are. Because cars depreciate, houses inflate lifestyles, status costs compound, wealth is quiet, status is loud. The middle class chooses loud. They lock themselves into payments that require constant income just to maintain appearances. That's not success. That's a fragile illusion. And the worst part? They think saving alone will fix it. It won't. Here's why. Number 3, they worship saving and ignore growth. Saving is good, but saving alone is a losing strategy. Why? Because inflation never sleeps. If your money grows at 3% and inflation runs at 6%, you're moving backward politely. The middle class is taught, save more, spend less, be responsible. Nobody teaches, deploy capital, buy assets, let money work. So they hoard cash like it's protection, while purchasing power quietly evaporates. Saving keeps you stable. Ownership makes you wealthy. One prevents disaster. The other creates freedom. And just when they start earning more, lifestyle inflation shows up like a silent assassin. 4, every raise becomes a new bill. Now listen closely, because this one is deadly. So basically, middle-class income goes up, and expenses sprint to catch it. New car, bigger apartment, more subscriptions, more convenience. Every raise becomes a lifestyle upgrade instead of a wealth accelerator. They don't use extra money to buy assets. They use it to buy comfort, which means no margin, no flexibility, no escape velocity. You can't invest what you already spent. But wait, keep in mind it's not just about bad spending. On this channel, we've created step-by-step videos and a complete playlist that breaks down exactly what it takes to build generational wealth. If that's what you're about, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our members list to always stay updated. But anyways, now it's about to get worse, because debt is marketed as smart next. Number 5, they use debt for comfort, not control. Let's clear this up once and for all, because this is where people get defensive. Debt isn't the villain. Stupid debt is. The wealthy don't hate debt. They weaponize it. The middle class uses debt like emotional support. Car loans to feel successful. Credit cards to feel comfortable. Buy now, pay later to feel like they're keeping up. But here's the brutal truth. If debt doesn't put money back in your pocket, it's not leverage. It's a leash. The middle class borrows for things that lose value, create no income, require more future work to maintain, which means every purchase silently locks in future labor. That $700 car payment? That's not transportation. That's a monthly subscription to your job. The wealthy flip the script. They use debt to buy cash flowing assets, businesses, real estate, systems that pay for the debt and then some. So while the middle class is stressed about bills, the wealthy let assets do the heavy lifting. Same tool, opposite outcome. One creates freedom, the other creates obligation. And the most dangerous part? Middle class debt feels normal. Everyone has it. Everyone jokes about it. Everyone says, that's just life. But normalization doesn't make it harmless. It just makes it invisible. And invisible chains are the hardest ones to break. Now here's where it gets even more backwards. Because after trapping themselves in debt, they're taught to fear the very thing that could actually save them: risk. Number 6. They fear risk but ignore guaranteed loss. I'll be honest, here's the most ironic part of middle class thinking. They say, I don't want to take risks, but they're already taking the biggest risk of all. They risk. Inflation eating their savings, wages falling behind costs, layoffs they can't control, pension plans quietly disappearing. That's not safety. That's slow motion roulette. The middle class avoids anything that feels uncertain. Investing early, starting something on the side, buying assets instead of comfort. But they fully accept things that are mathematically guaranteed to hurt: rising prices, flat salaries, higher taxes, shrinking purchasing power. They fear volatility, but accept erosion. That's like refusing to step on a boat because the water looks choppy, while standing on a dock that's literally collapsing underneath you. The wealthy understand something most people don't. Risk isn't the enemy. Unmanaged risk is. They don't gamble. They calculate. They diversify. They hedge. They place small, controlled bets with upside and cap the downside. Meanwhile, the middle class bets their entire future on one thing: my job will be there forever. That's not conservative. That's blind faith. And faith is not a financial strategy. Now let's talk about the quiet killer that makes all of this worse. The thing that drains money before you even touch it: taxes. Number 7, they don't understand the tax game. The middle class pays taxes before they see their money. The wealthy pay taxes after strategy. Employees are taxed first. Owners are taxed last. That's not an accident. That's design. If you don't control income structure, you don't control taxes. And if you don't control taxes, you don't control wealth. But even worse than taxes is the mindset that keeps them obedient. Number 8, they confuse education with financial intelligence. Degrees don't equal wealth literacy. You can be brilliant and financially clueless. The system teaches how to earn, how to comply, how to be employable. It doesn't teach how money flows, how assets work, how leverage compounds. School trains workers. Wealth requires owners. And once trapped, they normalize it, which is the most dangerous part. Number 9, they normalize financial stress. Living paycheck to paycheck becomes normal. Debt becomes just life. Stress becomes adulting. Normalization kills urgency. If pain feels normal, change feels unnecessary. That's how decades disappear quietly. And finally, the biggest trap of all. Number 10, they wait for permission to build wealth. All right, now listen closely, because this is the quietest trap and the most permanent one. The middle class doesn't feel broke. They feel not ready yet, so they wait. They wait too. Feel confident, feel educated, feel safe, feel approved. Approval from parents, approval from coworkers, approval from society, permission from people who aren't wealthy themselves. They don't move until someone says it's okay. They don't start until the path feels guaranteed. They don't act until the risk feels gone. But here's the uncomfortable truth. No one hands out permission to build wealth. Wealth isn't granted, it's claimed. And the longer you wait, the more expensive the lesson becomes. Because while you're waiting, time keeps moving. Inflation keeps compounding. Opportunity keeps passing. Waiting feels safe, but it's actually the most dangerous choice. The wealthy understand this early. They don't wait for certainty. They act with incomplete information. They make small moves, learn fast, adjust, and scale. The middle class wants a perfect map. The wealthy start walking and build the map as they go. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. And the final irony? Most people don't fail because they choose the wrong path. They fail because they never choose at all. They stay stuck at the starting line, calling it patience, when it's really fear dressed up as responsibility. And once you see this, once you stop waiting, the entire money game flips. Because the real fix isn't earning more. It's thinking differently about how money actually works. Now here's the fix, the shift that changes everything. Stop optimizing for comfort. Start optimizing for leverage. Leverage of time, capital, skills, ownership. You don't need to be extreme. You need to be intentional. One asset, one system, one shift at a time. The middle class stays broke because they sell time instead of owning systems, buy status instead of assets, save but don't grow, inflate lifestyles, use debt emotionally, fear risk but accept loss, ignore taxes, confuse education with intelligence, normalize stress, wait for permission. Now, if this video made you rethink how money actually works, comment the word leverage below. I want to see who's paying attention. Fix those, and the entire game changes. In the next video, I'll break down exactly how wealthy people structure their money so it quietly grows without stress, flash, or burnout, even if they start late.